What's up? Almighty Ed here. Welcome back to the channel. And like always, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. So if you're into D&D, you're in the right place. I'm finally gonna get around to doing my wall video for you guys, where I'm gonna show you guys all the steps I took and what I used to build these walls. It's pretty self-explanatory when you see them, but I'll get into that anyways. So I haven't been in the creative mood lately. I haven't had all my supplies that I want to do like my crafts, like black acrylic, white acrylic, gray acrylic. It's been really hard to get these supplies for a while, and I don't just like to spew garbage content at you guys. I'd rather take my time and like what I'm putting out. So that's why the little hiatus happened. But now I'm back, and let's get right into this video. Let's hit that intro. Guys, so here it is. This is all the steps right here. Now this first step is just straight up cardboard with white packing styrofoam. Nothing special, all trash. The only thing that's not trash that I use in this build is the clay that I use in these edges, because I didn't want it to look flat. I didn't want to just put like cardstock here in the edges and make it all flat. I wanted it to look cracked. I wanted it to look, like rock. That's how I wanted the look and the feel. So this is the first step. Now this is the correct way to go about this, is glue these on, make them a little bit taller and like on both sides, so you can edge that out perfectly. Because if not, these will end up like, if you're just trying to cut it, and then I'm not a measurements guy, I'm not gonna sit there and precise cut. It's just not me. It's that doesn't make your craft easy when, that's my whole thing, is I'm doing easy, simple crafts anybody can do. I am not the artistically inclined by any means. And here it is. So I just add on this little extra length, and I cut them down to size, and it makes them have, a better base to stand. Now that's the best way I figured out. Now these are just way too tall. Now here is a taller miniature, my Minotaur, and this would be a perfect miniature for inside of like a labyrinth. And yeah, he's just way too shrimpy compared to the height of the walls. So I'm going to cut these down to about 2 inches. Now every single piece I cut was like roughly 4 inches. I don't know what made me go with 4 inches. I believe I saw like other dungeon tiles that were like 4 inches tall, but it's just way too tall. Like, that is not something you need to do, is have these big, long, dungeon walls. I mean, realistically, 2 inches is more than enough. Now, the lucky thing is, like I said, I don't precise measure. So these run about 4 to like 4.5 inches, less than 4.5, but somewhere in between that range. So I will be able to give them like a little higher than like 2.5, like 2 inches. I mean, so that's my number one thing. So these they came out really cool. That's the starter. Now this is the way I started all of them. Just basic, dungeon walls. Cardboard, styrofoam, and clay. Now the next step was to throw some black acrylic and primer these up. Now as you can see here, these are not primered, and this one is. Why this is because, as you can see here, the walls ain't even the same sizes. I just have fun with it. They don't all need to be perfect. Nothing needs to be perfect. Have fun. Make your craft. Don't worry about how it all comes out, how it all looks. I'm not a professional. I'm not trying to make Dwarven Forge here. I'm trying to make stuff that looks good on my table, on my battle mat, on my crappy table, in my crappy garage when we play D&D and have a good time. So, yeah. I'm going to cut all these in half. Now, what was I saying? Okay, so black primer paint. All I used is acrylic paint with some water. That's it. Super simple. Now, why these are white? I started off making these with like wooden feet. Now, I have some in here somewhere. Here we go. So, I started off, not wooden feet, just cardboard. And it did the job. It did the job, but they would fall over. Well, that's being supported. But they would fall over relatively easy. I didn't like the look of it. I didn't like it. I just didn't like the way that looked. So I went with these instead. So some of them were already primered, ready to paint. And I was like, nope, I changed my mind. I did this. And I just think it gives it a better look overall. Like it just gives it like this pillar look. It just really cool, and it's really stable. It really stabilized all my walls a lot better than these cardboard feet did. Now, that's that. Now, I need to finish these up, all of them. I have a full box of these. I have maybe about like 40 plus walls ready to go, ready to paint. Just haven't had acrylic. Now here is the finished product. Now these are all finished up, and these are even gonna get cut in half. I'm gonna cut everything in half. So I'm gonna double my wall output, and I think it'll just be easier if I just paint them all and then cut them in half. So just right down the middle, 2 inches tall, and that will look a lot better, you know, because these miniatures are about, you know, a little under 2 inches to 2 inches tall. So that'll look a lot better compared to these ginormous walls I have now. So super easy. Black acrylic, get some gray, get some white, just dry brush all over. Make sure your black is fully dry, because then you'll get like this color where it's just like kind of like a dull gray, instead of like something like this where you'll have like the color poking through and stuff. Just make sure your paint's dry, you know. It's a big difference when you have, I mean, just look at that side. It's a huge difference having dry black paint and wet black paint. This one kept seeping through, like the black kept sinking in, so I had to keep repainting. This one went through really good, just the way the styrofoam took it. But came out really good, really nice looking. I hope you guys enjoy these. These were a real blast to make. I mean, I can't wait to get these done now that I have black acrylic paint and some more white and some more gray. I just can't wait to get these all done and show you guys how they look on the table when they're all cut up and perfectly ready to go. Now, just remember, these are super easy crafts to make. Doesn't cost a lot to make. I mean, a couple dollars for paint, $5 for the clay, and you definitely don't have to use clay. You could go grab a cereal box and cut strips and just, you know, that was just something I did. I had the clay. I didn't know what to do with it, so I used it for this. Super easy. I hope you guys enjoy. Catch you in the next one.